All right. I'm testing this out. Hey guys. Welcome to the Psy Tai live stream with your host Tai. Hopefully you're having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight special, whatever time this is coming at you. Take this energy now that we all in the same boat. We can start the conversation. Yay, hey. Yes, we're going to review the movie Total Recall. Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not Sylvester Stallone. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger, the one that ran for governor. Yes, that guy. The one, the Terminator guy. So I'm not confused this time. This was a movie made in 1990, a year before I came down into this 3D Earth. So it's a lot of, just like Demolition Man, it's a lot of advanced technology, a lot of prolific ideas that's we can see looking around. We can see this is happening in our society right now. But before we go any deeper, and before we start, just ties when you combine your mind with your heart, connect those two circles, let whatever come out, come out. I'm just gonna ask if you can like this video and subscribe. Just hit the like button and subscribe so you can know when more videos coming out, and just be a part of the fam. Be a part of the fam. So that's what that is. But Total Recall is an awesome, a blockbuster action movie. And what I mean by action movie, it is very funny with all the so-called extra explosions and everything that happens, and all the breaking through glass and running through glass and everything. But one of the main things about this movie deals with a lot of, is the life that you're living real? Is it, or is it just a memory? Are you on vacation somewhere in your mind, and that's why you manifesting everything that you manifesting, or that's why you seeing everything you seeing, and so it's tying into. And before I go any deeper than this, the Psy Tai live stream, this channel does not promote the use of illegal or legal drugs. What you decide to do with your bodies, what you decide to do. Do not recreate anything that you see on this channel. This is for educational, documentational, and this is comedy purposes only. Do not recreate anything you see on this channel. But I'm gonna tie in this on how this the psychedelic mind and just everything, plant medicines. So if y'all got anything, just leave it in the comments. If y'all seen this movie, if y'all like this movie, let me know in the comments below. What's was your thoughts on it? But I'm gonna start this conversation now, and because the movie I ran across it because the Void pointed it out. It's saying now it's calling Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But this movie was really worth getting into. So much that I see that they made a sequel to it. I mean, not a sequel or a remake, but I was watching the old Schwarzenegger version in 1990, and oh yeah, I got this too. Hold on. Oh. But but yeah, the movie, I got some pictures. The movie starts off in Mars. The movie is all about Mars and what's going on the Mars playing the field and things like that. And it's the year, it's got to be in the future, way in the future. But it's cool them talking about Mars, and then us looking at Elon Musk, and also Elon Musk like with this huge ambition that we're going to go to Mars. So just in that sense alone, that this takes place on Mars for most of the matter of fact is very cool, because we go in there, for better or for worse. Or it can all just be a story from my conversation point of view. But for better or worse, humans will be living somewhat on Mars. And this movie was wild because it was at this point Mars is like a everyday travel thing. Like you can just go travel on vacation and things like that. And and we see Elon Musk and people, characters like him, saying yes, this is going to be something that's going to be readily available, and this movie was showing that. But it's kind of trippy how this movie start off showing Arnold Schwarzenegger passing away, like actually dying. It's like because his helmet popped off and things like that, and he was with the girl that he invented before he went into the program, or that was his wife. We're gonna tie on that later. But if y'all seen the movie, it's a lot of spoilers, major spoilers ahead. If y'all seen the movie, y'all know what I'm talking about. But it was the he popped open his head, and that was like a, I don't know if that was a foreshadow, because that never actually happened in the movie. So it could have been just a dream. I'm not sure. But in the beginning, he had ran across this pyramid like cave structure, this with a lady, and they was heading towards it. But then when they was heading towards it, he fell and tripped, and his helmet popped open and things like that. And then he just wakes up in another realm of reality, and he's like, "Oh wow, that was a dream, man. That was a crazy dream." So is we put Schwarzenegger, and we see that he has this wife, and he wants to go to Mars. He really wants Mars. And he's like, "Yo, come on, let's go to Mars." And his wife is so persistent, like, "Man, I hate Mars. Like, why do you want to go to that dusty ass planet? I want to go to Saturn with the rings, like, it's be all flashy and stuff. It's just dust and dirt and termites on Mars." And he's like, "No, I have this." He just kept every time he looked at the TV, he had this inkling of, "Oh, I want to go to Mars. Like, that's where I want to go. I really want to go there." And she's just playing him. She just like really playing him, like, "Man, that's a stupid idea. Is you always thinking about that and things like that." So I see that right now he was having in the beginning of the movie, he was already having an inkling. "Hey, what's up, Peace Void? I watched this movie because you mentioned it." So you was probably thinking about Total Recall, and I was like, "Let me go watch that movie then." But he wakes up. He wakes up and was like, yeah, it's real, man. We a fan. We all a fan. We he wakes I see this now as like the Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had this inclination of, "I wanna go to Mars," and he didn't know why. He just was having dreams and things like that. And there's some people that have dreams of them. I have dreams of me smoking sometimes, but not DMT. But it's people that have dreams of them actually smoking DMT. And this mostly after they already smoked DMT too. So like, "Oh man, I be having dreams of me smoking DMT and actually going somewhere else." And so this is that I just had that Ty thought, just Ty. Because he was like, "Man, I had this dream, man, I want to go there. I want to go there." He saw it. So it's this place. The reason I found out it's called Total Recall, remember, it's a lot of spoilers in this, is that it's Total Recall because you're totally recalling your whole life, your whole memory. And that's how that's just the tie thought that I had, how this ties into psychedelics. Because in my experience, I have like witnessed things of my past, like even lifetimes ago, and even memories that I've forgotten when I was a child, even on that level, on that humbug level. So Total Recall for me is like totally awakening. But this movie get real trippy because it was throwing a whole lot of sideball curveballs in there. I'd say sideballs. What the frick is a sideball? Curveballs in there. So yeah, it was a lot of curveballs in there. So I was thinking this, but when the movie kept on going, I had some other thoughts. So that's why I'm going through this. So it's this place called Total Recall as well, I think, it's just this company that offers vacations through the mind. So instead of having to pack your bags, deal with the airport, deal with all the people running around, being late, and you getting all lost in the sauce, probably late for your flights, running and all of that, you can just get something inoculated into your neck, and then it messes with your memory so that you'll have the memory that you went on this awesome 5-star vacation. And at this point in realm of reality in the movie, you can act like you were on different planets. You can say you was on Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Uranus, any of those. So he's like, "Man, I want to go and do this." And the thing about it, it was a guy at work that was like, man, that was giving him stories on why not to do it. And we find out later in the story that this is the same guy that did this guy right here. This is the same. Wait, that's there. This guy right here, that's co-worker. That's the same guy as well that comes back, and we're gonna tie on that later. And that didn't want him to actually recall a certain part of his memory because he has something to do with this Mars thing that was going on. Because what's going on Mars was what you see on the news with Schwarzenegger attention keeps being brought to is that these new artifacts were found on Mars, and scientists want to date them and things like that, and they go back millions of years. So this new guy called Cardigan that runs Mars, and he's like, no, it's just the rebels. We didn't really find anything. They spreading all these rumors and all of this other stuff. That was the control guy saying that. So that was pretty wild. But I'm gonna go back to Arnold Schwarzenegger because he wanted to go on a vacation to on Mars. He like, all right, if I can't go there physically, I at least want the memory. So he goes to the place. He finds, I got a picture right here. Here we go. He goes to the place, and the guy talks to him about everything, about what their company is and how they offer. He's really selling it to him. He's really selling it to him. The guy about the vacations and things like that. He's like, man, you can do this. We offer 5-star. You can be a secret agent. You can be a bachelor. You can be all anything you want. It's this new option that we have. Because at first Schwarzenegger said, I don't want no options. I just want to go there and come back in my mind. I just want to do that. But the guy's like, no, I got some extra things I got some options. And it's called the ego trip. That's what he called it, the ego trip. He said you could go I was about to say an astronaut, as a playboy, a secret agent, or something, just whatever in that field. So I was tying, when on this part, I was tying, I was like, yo, is this how it is before we come into Earth? Like, are we like, man, because I see this as a one big ego trip kind of too. Like, we come here, we assume a role and things like that. So I was like, did we choose to like, or was we sold this game? Like, we wanted to come down to Earth as us, but we was like sold all these extra options to like, do you want to be this? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a race car? Like, those are cool things, but people get caught up in it and think that's all that they are and that that's all it is life, like a profession and things like that. When really, when you start dealing with plant medicines, you start saying things like, man, this is just the role that I'm playing on Earth. I know who I am. And I see that as in my realm of reality as well. I'm like, yo, I know I see my role as a dad, as a son, as a brother, as a tired, as a YouTuber. I see all of that. And I see it as just roles that I'm playing. But now I'm at the point in my life where I know who I am and I know how I feel and how I wish to react to things. But it was wild when I seen he was being sold options, and at first he's saying he wanted, but he's like, no, I got you, I got you, I got you, I got you, bro. And eventually he went for it. He chose to be a secret agent, which ties into this movie, is a big point in this movie because it plays out him actually believing he's a secret agent. It's wild. We gonna keep going in there. But for this part, I was just really thinking about like, was we tricked when we was coming here, or was we just sold some extra things? I know it's playing out in the movie terms. We all talking this movie language right now, but in some shape or form, we didn't come down here remembering who we really are. That's what I really got to. We don't really know who we are when we first come down. As soon as we come out the womb, we like, where, who am I? What is this? And they like, here, this is your name. This is your name. This is your country. This is your family. And whatever they into, that's what they into. And Total Recall, is that psychedelic awakening? I don't know. Just Ty. I don't know. You agree? Yeah. It's something like that. It's something in that field. And this was another cool scene. Well, this is the same. Whoop. Hold on one second. There we go. This was another cool scene because it was showing how the more honest that he was, the more they was able to suit his trip to his likability. So you see in here they're getting a picture of his ideal woman. And it was kind of sad, and just what it is though. It is what it is, because they only had 3 options. It was like skinny, athletic, and voluptuous, like just got some meat on their bone. And and we see later that the person that he chooses now, for some reason it's the lady, somehow it's the wife that he has outside of this memory. But we gonna tie on that. If y'all seen the movie, y'all know a little bit what I'm talking. But they inoculate him and things like that, and he goes into this machine, which is the cover of the album. I mean the movie and things like that. And you see, you got the blues. There's a lot of technology going on, and this just brings to mind right now just thoughts I had in the past, and I was recently watching a DMT trip story on some guy talking about, and you seen this in the Matrix with your own visual cortex, what that it was human incubators when he was on a trip, and he didn't know what was going on, but it was like he was looking at these pods and eggs hanging from the ceiling, and they had humans in them. And he didn't know what to make out of it, but he saw that it was one that looked like it was broken open and that he escaped from it, and that's why he was where he was right then and there. And and that's that I was really tying on that because you see in the Matrix how he woke up out of a pod once he was like out of the computer system and stuff, and that he was hooked into the computer system and like assimilation so that they could be used as batteries and stuff like that. So that just really ties on like it's some things, some being using our energy and things like this. I heard True like talk about this on his trip. Yeah, he probably did because he shared the video that I'm talking about. He shared this video, and the incubators, like, who is it? Something that's using us, is using our energy and things, or is it us doing it, or is someone using our energy to, like as a battery, like in Rick and Morty? Remember Rick and Morty? He created a whole civilization to charge his battery so he can not have to pay for gas or whatever it is, electricity. That's the cartoon way. But yeah, it's something. It's I know it there got to be something. It's something to that. But the aspect of memories as well with Total Recall, and the fact that they were saying that the memory can actually Rick and Morty is the best. When season 4 come out, Void, I'm gonna be on every episode. As soon as I watch it, I'm gonna hit up the live and be like, "Yo, what was y'all thinking? What was y'all talking about that?" But yeah, the thing when it comes down to memory and things like that, like how strong is memory? Or I listened to a lot of Avenged Sevenfold in the past, and sometime now in the present. But it's this song where I grew up with this lyric saying we're nothing but memories. We're nothing but memories. And yeah, Stranger Things is the ish. All of those shows. That's why I'm like, yo, got the mic, we can talk about all of this. After I sip some tea. I forgot that was here. Some lemon and honey tea. But yeah, it has me tying about memory and like what the heck is I mean not what the heck, but I grew up thinking that all we are memories. So if that is true, even though it's all half truths as well, but if that is true and we're all nothing but memories, that means if you change a memory or have an irrational memory in your brain, then that's what actually happened. That's what actually happened. And I see this with history and things like that, like how they say this is what happened in history. And now the future moves off of that lie because the memory of the past was so misshapen and corrupted and things like that, that it took effect. It took effect really easily, real easily. And that's why dealing with these plant medicines, I'm seeing in my life, being able to filter out all the lies, all the bullshit and things like that. And that's what this movie was really hitting on, like filtering out all the lies and seeing what's really going on with your own for yourself and have your own adventure, thinking that you're some secret agent sent from the planet Mars or from the Pleiadian constellation. But yeah, he goes in there playing with memories, and he goes into the machine. Do I have some more? Oh wait, I know I do. What I'm talking about. So he goes in the machine, and it malfunctions. That's what happens. It malfunctions. They said he's suffering a schizophrenic something, a skit something. But all that really stuck out to me is that they said schizophrenic. So what that meant to me, was that he was, because he started struggling. They was like, yo, he didn't even go under yet, and they had said that they actually unlocked the memory instead of putting a memory, implanting a memory into him. The movie was playing it out as if they unlocked a repressed memory, something, because find out later in the movie that his memory was repressed and taken away, and that he was given this new identity. But they didn't know what was going on. But just the word skits and things, when you deal with people that are schizophrenic, or how psilocybin mushrooms and things will have you experience with not in a paranoid way, or it could be paranoid, but in my world I see how the symptoms that schizophrenics talk about, you experience those on mushrooms. You experience like hearing hallucinatory thoughts, or not knowing if people can hear your thoughts or not, or your thoughts getting real louder, or hearing voices and all these other things. So I see this as him really waking up, because they took off this memory block. They took off this memory block by trying to give him extra memories. So saying he's skits and messing up was really something magical happened. Something really magical was happening, and it was him waking up to the truth. Just Tai. And he starts, once he gets, what does he do? What does he do when he get out? What does he do? He runs around crazy, almost strangles the guy and things like that. And but I think I'm on this scene. I think I'm on this scene. I don't probably not go all in order. But he goes back and finds his wife. No, that's how it was. All right, I get it now. He comes back from the total recall place, because then they do something so that he don't remember that he was even really freaking out that much. They do something else so he don't remember he was freaking out. And this can be another plot in the movie that I'm probably missing. But he goes back, and this guy is back again. Here we're catching up. Oh, what's up, UL? We talking about total recall. Now we at the part where he was out of the recall place, where they was giving him that dream memory, and he's heading back home. He was already skitzing out. It didn't work. They unlocked this new memory. They unlocked a new memory that they saw was repressed in him and things like that. Well, old memory that was repressed in him. And now he goes back to this guy that told him not to go in the first place. He's like, don't take them shrooms. Don't take that acid, man. Come on. Have a beer, man. What you doing with all them drugs, acting like them hippies, man? I told you not to go. How did it go anyway? And then he was like, man, he ain't really tell him that much. Well, all in all, we find out that this guy was working for the so-called evildoers. And he didn't want him to awaken to the truth of who he actually was. And he was all cool with him and things like that. He's like, man, you my buddy. That was like a big portrayal of a friend and relationship and things like that. But that's what happens in life. We're told not to do things that we know is benefiting us, or that we have a real inclination, a real instinct to do. And just because they're not doing it, don't have the experience, don't mean that I'm going to stop doing it. So but yeah, he goes back, he finds out that his wife is not his wife. and then they start fighting and things. It's an epic fight scene. Because she can fight, she can rumble, she can throw up her hands, she got them dukes. And and she was like, I'm sorry, but he's like, no, will tell me the truth and things like that. So he runs out and finally escapes, and when he sees who she's working with and things like that. And that was real funny. That was a real funny scene. But we skipped past that, and he eventually runs into like his old apartment, and is told that hey, what's going on, Astral Way? We flying today. We in hyperspace. We're gonna keep this all 4/5 dimensional. But what's going on? At this part, this was one of the trippiest parts of the movie. This guy gives him a suitcase, and he says, go to this place. I was told that if you forgot who you are, then I'm to give you this suitcase. I worked with you when you was on Mars. And then now Schwarzenegger's like, what are you talking about? I never been to Mars. What are you talking about? So he starts talking to he opens this up, and he finds out that it was him. It's him talking to himself. And then he talks about Yeah, you probably don't recognize what's going on. And at first I saw this as his higher self in the beginning of the movie. I was like, yo, this is nothing but his higher self contacting him saying, hey man, you forgot who you are, but wrap this towel around you, a wet towel around your head, and pull this track where's that scene at? And pull this big old tracking device out of your nose. And this was a real trusting scene for me when I was looking at it, because or just an action movie scene, because he really was like willing to stick this thing up his nose, because he saw himself on the camera talking to him. He's like, yo, they're following you, they're tracking you, this lets them know all about where you are, what you're doing, and thing, you gotta get this out of you. So this, I saw this at this moment as his higher self, like communicating with him. So let's keep the terms of just higher self, just to keep the movie fresh. And he was taking, he snatched it out of his nose, you know, it was pain. So, and now he was free from then. But I'm gonna spoil it now because y'all probably seen his movies from the 90s. Is that we find out that the his old identity of him, well, this, the old person of him actually wiped out his memory on purpose so that they can do this whole big old trap in order to find, to get close to the rebels that were on Mars. Because nobody can get close to the rebels because they ain't trust no government, they ain't trust nobody unless you was in a circle. So we found out that he actually wiped out his memory, and so that he can be a new memory, a new identity can be created in him, and then go on from there. They had a whole new set of logics and whole new personality and things like that. And it worked. It really worked. And that's wild how that was actually able to work. Because if we are nothing but memories and programs on this level, and you go about and you've been going your whole life not really connecting with like your highest self, like even higher than how in the movie him talking to himself in the wait, that's the wrong button. Him talking to himself over there, like, yeah, the one that's bigger than both of those guys, then then you can oh, hold on, I lost my point trying to find the thing. Dang, forget about it. That's funny when that kind of stuff happens. uh, but yeah, the older self was more past life, wanting control over newer self. Oh, and that just brought me back to what I was talking about, memories. Memories. And how if we are nothing but memories, how they can, how you can change up stuff based off your experiences. But we see with this technology how they was able to wipe your whole memory out and give you a whole new identity, give you a whole new identity and way of living. And you don't, and Schwarzenegger then wasn't able to know the difference until he had the psychedelic, so to speak. Until he had that psychedelic that woke him up. But that's just scary because a lot of, well, not scary, I just say scary, but that's how it is on earth for me. When I look around, a lot of people don't remember, or seem like they put on this whole new identity based off of the music that they listening to or grew up on, or the religion that they grew up on. I'm like, yo, I know you really don't think like that, or that, I don't, it's weird. It's a lot of shells walking around, a lot of shells. Like, yeah, it's exactly like being reborn. That's why I think this scene was so that's why I think this scene was so legendary. Like he was going into something, being reborn and things like that. But yeah, that's the fight that they was having. That's the fight that's having. That's the talk he was having with his other self. That was cool. And oh, there was something else. Yeah, while he's still like going about. Hey, morning guys, morning guys. Gosh, why do I keep sneezing? Good morning, I. Well, that's what was that. I'm trying to tell him what was really going on in my head during that. Look at Mushy's underside. Look at Mushy's the underside of Mushy. Oh, look at Mushine is underside of Mushy. I missed that. I don't know what you mean. Must shine. I'm looking. Do. And I'll probably get back to that part. But we go to another scene where he's all running around and things like that. This is a real another important scene. He's all running around and he's running around trying to figure out what's going on. All these fake people keep coming to him. He don't know what to believe. Oh, the recall machine. Oh. I got you. Hold on. It is, but all the lines and all. I just said it looked like a spore print. A spore print. It looked like. I see what you mean now. Exactly. Wow. Yeah. Good eye. Good eye. It definitely is. See, I be knowing what I'm talking about. I just need y'all to get the. Well, not we all doing this together. Cause I didn't. I knew that is cool. I did not notice that. Oh, I got a thumbnail already ready. I got the thumbnail already ready in my head. But we go to the scene where he's offered this red pill and he's told that, yo, remember that you were inside a machine. You chose that you wanted to be a secret agent. None of this is fucking real right now. This is all virtual. I'm a counselor, a psychologist, and you're not waking up. So I was thrown into this world so that I can talk to you on a basis where you're going to be able to go ahead. On the basis where you're going to be able to offer him a red pill. Offer him a red pill. I don't know what it was on the Matrix either. If you took the red or blue pill, y'all know which one that was? Which one woke you up? Or what if you took both on the Matrix? Like, man, I just want to take the red and the blue pill. I'm looking this up real quick. But overall in this movie though, the red pill in this movie was oh, I see it now. Yeah, I just googled it. Thanks, Joelle. And the yeah, so in the red pill it was different. I mean, the Matrix it was different, but in the red pill in this movie, it was gonna take him out of everything. Supposedly, it was just gonna knock him out and make him realize that he's no secret agent, that he's not on Mars, and that he's just home and all this other crazy stuff. But he's looking. Schwarzenegger is questioning the shit out of him. He's like, "Yo, I don't really trust you. I already found out my wife wasn't fake. I mean, wasn't real and things like that." And I don't really know. I don't really know. But he's giving them all these hints of like, yo, you're delusional. You need help. And this is this was just showing to me people that want to put you in a psychiatric home and things like that, or just like, yo, you're crazy. You need to chill out, or you need to lay off the pills. You need to lay off those lay off them hippie drugs, man. You delusional. You running around like a schizophrenic. And he even tells him you suffer from like a schiz thing. I forget the term they use, a schiz something. And it got all messed up. So basically they call him paranoid schizophrenic in my reality. They're like, yo, you're a paranoid schizophrenic. You don't know what reality is. Take this red pill, get knocked out. Makes you think it's not you. Makes you think it's you, not the world. Yeah, like it's something wrong with you. Like, no. And that's the look. What's going on, Sahi? We at this part where he was offering the red pill. And this the look that we have too. Like, yo, you want me to what? You you want me to go back to church? What? You want me to pray to who? What? I just was figuring out all that is bullshit. Now you telling me that's not that the people that was telling me that was bullshit is all fantasy, and that all that I'm just tripping. And I went through this in my own life on the awakening path too, where I was like, yo, all this stuff that I'm reading, all these esoteric books, is it really the truth, or am I really just going crazy and delusional? And that was because I wasn't able to connect it with people around me. I wasn't able to like, hey, yo, did you read Libra 2 or Libra XX or things like that? And it's like, what are you talking about? And talking about elements and all of that. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Shout outs to True Life Stories coming through. But that's how it is when, and a lot in my journey, Yeah, and that's how it is in a lot of my journey as well. It's like, yo, what is going on with why are y'all looking out in the world? They'll tell you like, yo, you need to come to church, or oh, come talk to the pastor, or oh well, I went through the same thing when I was young, or your grandfather's schizophrenic, so you need to watch yourself and things like that. And me and Schwarzenegger, like after realizing, experiencing so much truth, is like you look at this guy like, you really want to give me like, I hear what you're saying. It sounds logically like logically true or logically possible, but you seem kind of fishy. Most people are so consumed by fear that at this point, this is where a lot of people give up on their psychedelic journey, so to speak, and they and awakening and discovering who they are in themselves, or at least they get real corrupted in it because it's people around them, like this lady, that too, his fake wife, and that guy saying, man, just you give up to fear because you're like, I love these people. I really do love these people. I'm not able to relate to them. So I got all these crazy thoughts. I better start fitting in. What thoughts are you thinking? Oh, all right, that's true. Wow, I was crazy back then. I must have been tripping. Oh, I was tripping. Let me not trip anymore. Let me fit in a little more. And I see this in my life. That's why I mentioned before, I still watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the animated series, because she tries to fit in with well, I showed it to my daughter at least now. I know all the episodes. But she tries to fit into high school and things like that. Yeah, fake people trying to get you back into the programming. And the thing is, they don't think that they fake. On my level, it's like the level is not fake. It's just all like, man, it's all business. It's all business to some people on the highest levels. But just in the common circles, people don't really be knowing that they're fake. It's just like you just need to get shot one time or die. It's wild. It's just wild how people, how in order for humans, we're so deep into this that it's like you really have to die. Oh, what's going on, Real Spirit Dynamics? Hey, this is cool. Hello, hello, hello. We go on Total Recall. We're talking about offering the red pill, and he really did not. He really did not want to take it, and that was yeah, it's just wild because people don't people want you to fit in. People like want you to. They like, and they come from a, like in the circle, they come from a place of love, because in their realm of reality, no, that's what I was going to say. It's wild how humans have to die. Humans have to die, and that's one of the wildest facts that people don't realize. And it comes out in religion. It's like, oh, you need to die to your flesh and things like that. But when you put so much, the way that that's put in the operations that put in, at least in Christianity, which I'm really familiar with, is really like, man, you just forsake yourself and see yourself as being so separate from the world. Separate from the world. That's how religion gets it messed up when they say die to your flesh. They just say separate yourself from the world. And what that means in their reality is separate yourself from people who don't think like you, or you're not separate, or you are separate from people who don't think like you, and you have the power to damn them. On top of that, you have the power to damn them because you killed your flesh. They still working on it. And so that's a lot of any outies. A lot of any outies. And what was going on? So eventually he starts seeing a bead of sweat going down his neck, and he puts a gun to his face. This movie was wild with the violence. I think it's okay though. Some people are just unaware of certain things, but I think it's true that if a person know better, they know better. That's what the Astro Way said. And yes, that's where personal responsibility comes way into place. Personal responsibility, because I talk these things because this is what I've done during my life. I try fitting in at many different moments in my life where I will say catchphrases that, you know how it is when you say catchphrases that your friends say or that your family say, but it's not really how you wish to respond. You really want to go deeper. I see this in my little brother now. That's why he coming to Cali this summer with me. But yeah, when I know something, I have to act on it. If I don't act on it, then something just, a learning lesson is just thrown my way. Put it like that. A learning lessons. Is it me who's in the wrong, or are we for real for the most? This is wild because this is all what I've been coming to. Like, am I wrong or am I right? Or is there no such thing as wrong and right? Or if something explodes off a situation because I wanted to so called help, was that just a learning experience, not for them, but just for me? We got you an extra 8,000 views on your simulation vid, but you had to take down because of reuse. YouTubes are harsh. Oh wow. Thanks, bro. I didn't know what happened with it. I was like, are y'all moving on to like some other kind of field and notions? And but thanks for letting me know. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, we can still work together on some projects. We can work together some projects, Real Spirit Dynamics. Or any other video. I'll make one just for y'all channel. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's we all a fan. We all fam. But cool. What was happening was he was like, I had enough of this. I had enough of this. Wait. I'm jumping around. Yeah, is that who is wrong? Is there any such thing as right and wrong? And I had these questions on psilocybin. I would go out in the woods and just ask myself. And most of my old videos of Just Tie Now, that was mostly always me on a microdose and going out in the woods and sitting and just tying, just like, oh, just put up the camera, just talk, let whatever come out, come out. And it would be certain subject matters, but those subject matters are what was really in my experience. And that's why I'm going now. I'm seeing how on a certain level silence is golden and what nice actually means. Not nice means not overtaking somebody else's reality and overbearing their AI system. Cause me, I always, and my mom says this too. She says, you're like my best friend. She had me when I was 17, but as well as like, I see who she is past, and we see this in our moms too, but is I see who she is past all the things that she calls mistakes and things like that. And she like, you always know, I kind of know who you always know who I am beneath the surface. And I see this as a lot. I see this a lot, even in my spouse and all around. Cool. We had a big following of simulation theory. Yeah, I got y'all with that, man. Got some new experience under the belt too. Silence is a gateway. That's why that movie A Thousand Words with Eddie Murphy. Check out that movie review. That movie came right at the right time because it was another thing I was reading on Reddit was somebody saying they had a DMT trip and it was an entity telling them straight up that stop telling your girlfriend all of this information because you're overloading her system. Is too much for her to take right now. And I've took that in my own personal life and it's like, yo, that really is how things are, because when I do feel as though just want to explain, like, no, you got to know that you can't do that, or you doing that really means that you're thinking this in the way back of your thought and you just don't have no program latch on to it, so you just need to change that because you don't know this, you don't know that. But all that is just me. I found it's just another sense of controlling somebody. And that's what was going over in Demolition Man movie review, how the supreme leader had all these cool things. He was logically correct. But the way he was implementing them was he is the one that knows. You don't know who, you don't know. You don't know how to control yourself. So he need to do it. So that's how that played. That's what I'm learning now on what's right and wrong, or if I'm in the right or if I'm in the wrong. And the spirits, my higher self, whatever it is, they won't let me. They won't like what I mean by they won't let me is if I do that, they like I feel bad. Like I feel immediately bad. I feel bad. Like I hear thoughts like saying, "Man, like you don't have to say," or I just how it is, just how it is. I feel bad. So if you feel bad, don't do it no more. Say, yeah, they are an older operating system. After DMT like trips, you're upgraded in a way. SAUL is like you got a new operating system. Went from Windows 9 to Windows 10. Went from upgrading your OS system if you in the Macintosh world, your Apple computers. Everyone has the secret on their own. You can never pass it. Yeah, you only can pass it out through art. That's what Terrence talked about a lot. Terrence McKenna saying that you can mostly only this society allows the truth to slip through only through creative arts like movies and paintings and just creative expression. It's like that's the only time you're given an excuse to work with the muse. That's how he put it. The only way you're given an excuse to work with the muse. And I love working with the muses and everything I do. They here now. But and Sai said, "Let the truth free, and it will defend itself. No need to force loved ones. They despise me for overloading them." Whew, yeah, man, that's a real one. That's a real one. Me and my mom had to come to terms. Had to come to terms while I was 3,000 miles away in California. She was in Philadelphia. That's when we finally got things right. Because I was like, man, 1 + 1 is 3. 1 + 1 is 3. But to get back to the movie, oh, this is wow. I love life. I love life. So we see, the cool thing, other thing to go back to Total Recall is that it's on Mars, and they found this ancient alien artifact that we found out later is able to create an atmosphere for Mars. But the Supreme Leader Kogan or something start with a C, he wasn't able to no, no, no. He don't want it to be activated because there are domes on Earth, and this is just talking about the social political climate of the movie on Mars. And the people, they other side they said the people on Earth don't care about what's happening on Mars. They like, oh, we on Earth. Whatever happened on Mars is happening on Mars. I think art it only inspires people to seek. It seems like art is just mean. Yeah, it's all gateways. It's all gateways. It's all gateways. It's not going to just say, "Oh wow, it's the and because like it's the saying like if you read a book, depending on your level of consciousness, that's how much you get out of the book, or that's what you get out of the book." So to speak. So some people, like Alex Gray, who painted that picture of from white to gray. That's one of his most famous paintings. I mean, from white to black and the gray in the middle. Like some people say, "Oh, that looks cool. That's a nice art piece. I like that." And then some people in the know would be like, "Oh, wow, this is like from." This is my feelings. And sometimes I exist in the gray area, and then it's like you can just keep going back and back and back and back, depending on how much it is. That's what some people say. Man, that's just a cartoon. DMT in that place is like a total recall. You know that place, and while you're on Earth, you just start looking in ancient stuff. You should start looking into ancient stuff too. Oh, I do. I do. I just gotta remember the names and stuff. It's hard for me to remember names. That's why I don't just talk about it. That's wild. You all said DMT places like Total Recall. You just in a totally new place, and you you just know everything now about yourself. That's cool. And but the social political climate was that the domes were weak. It was cheap domes. They had expensive domes and cheap domes. And this is where all the cheap dome people live. Like they still got the slums, there's still money ruling stuff and things like that. And we run into this guy who winds up working for the so-called bad guys as well. He ain't had no family to feed. Can't say I got 5 kids to feed. And then when he messed up, so I got 4 kids to feed. Sorry, then like bullshit. It's so weird seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger curse too. It's funny, not weird. It is funny. Like these movies got a lot of comedy in it, and yeah, that's still that scene right there. But yeah, what was going on? This is all that was going on. He was still didn't know if what was real and what was not. What was real and what was not. And it's this guy that just wanted to control Mars and everything and saying you spilling our secrets. Because if people found out about the ancient alien artifact on Mars, then the atmosphere will have free air. Well, the atmosphere would just have air. Like right now they charge for air, or certain domes get pumped with air and they can cut it off whenever they want. So it was this thing going on about just being free, just being free and free energy. Free energy, that's what it is big. Free energy. And that has me tie about Tesla and how he was talking about how he was not even talked about. He had energy that he was able to get out of the ground and things like that. And then we see all the big electrical companies come and it's GM and be like, no, 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 nah, nah. Let's just burn down your house. Let's burn down all your patents. Let's burn down all of this. And let's go back to this Edison guy. Let's go back to this Thomas Edison. He had it good. He's like, yo, everything is kind of separate. We can make some money off of this. So that's how they was trying to keep it up there on Mars. That's how they was keeping it up there. And then one of the last cool parts of this movie was this guy, this mutant. And when the mutants were formed, which reminded me of Futurama, which had a lot of mutants that lived underground and regular society didn't want them to be a part of them. But they became mutated because it was such weak glass that the air seeped through and actually was like burning their skin and mutating them. But this guy is who they was after the whole time. His name is I'm gonna call him K. His name was K, and what he did, he was the leader of all the rebels, that knew about that was discovering all these ancient alien artifacts, and he was their supposed leader, and this is why they erase Schwarzenegger's memory so he can have a whole new life in order to go find that guy. And you also Edison was always taking others' ideas. Sometimes they got paid, not always. Yeah, he was always taking other people's ideas. He was a massive, massive thief, in all his patents. Like Tesla, I don't know what he was doing, if he was smoking DMT or if anything, but Tesla, that's just a whole nother story because he was dealing with aliens and he believed that he was an alien. He was in touch with aliens. Like he wrote about all of this. So he had an extraterrestrial, extra dimensional sense. So his creativity was not coming from stealing it from his fellow man, but he was actually bringing stuff up to his fellow man. Y'all thought I was gonna say down, right? No, 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 no. Everything's reversed. He is bringing up to his things up to his fellow man from within himself, from deep within himself. He's bringing it up. But yeah, that's that war. That was that war. And this guy right here, he can read minds. He can read minds. Get high on high voltage. That's what they drink this tea. That's what's going on. But this guy right here, he was able to actually read minds. He evolved to the point where he was able to read minds, and that's why he was so dangerous to the other people, to the ruling class, so to speak, the people that want to continue running things, running shit. So when he finally Trump, hey, it is what it is. But I don't think Trump was as cool as this guy. Or in another realm, he is. Another alternate reality. This guy eventually unlocks the mind. No, that was a cool. It's the verse Trump. Yeah, that hair though, that hair really. In the lips, the hair in the lips. That's what set it off. The hair in the lips is definitely Trump genetics. He lives. Oh, but what was I going to say about that picture? Was Oh, it was wild. This was the big inception point. Was that guy was unlocking a memory that was placed in his head before all of this started, which is really a huge point to tie on because the movie tries to play it out as if this new identity is just a new identity, and before that new identity, he was just the other guy you saw in the TV screen. But then this guy is saying that you have no, that's yeah, he unlocks some, oh wow, that makes sense to me now. Forget all of that I just said. But this guy unlocks a memory in his head of how of the what the hell is that called? The reactor. The reactor that would create the atmosphere. That was the whole big mission for Schwarzenegger to get to this guy, and so he can unlock the memory of it. And also the other guy, it also played out in the other people's plan because they wanted him to get to this guy so they can just find where he is and kill him, so they don't activate the reactor. But just playing with the games of memory, that's what that was about. And I think that's all I got for this movie. There's a lot of cool scenes like the three tits and all of that funny funky stuff and the midgets. It was overall, it was a cool movie. It was a cool, interesting movie, as y'all see, man. Just Ty, just Ty, just Ty. Just think about all these things that Ty and the whole audience is saying to y'all folks in the future. But that's what this is, man. It's another. It makes me think too about the movies that actors decide to play in, because this movie was actually made for somebody else, and then Schwarzenegger just weaved his way into it. So I'm gonna go and he was another fungi or the gut mind unlocking memory. Oh yeah, I had to remember who he's talking about. Yeah, that guy. He was able to just go in and like give the flashes. So it's not like he was creating those memories. And Schwarzenegger said those memories were already there. Were already there. And that is what the fungi does. Because like I told y'all, a lot of my childhood and stuff I really don't remember. But since dealing with plant medicines, they just been popping out into my existence. They just popping in like, oh wow, this is who I am. This is what happened then. This is how I felt about that. This is why I'm acting like this now. All right, now that I have that memory, let me switch it up a bit. And the Predator, yeah, I'm gonna do the Predator. I want to see all the Schwarzenegger movies. I tried watching that new Predator. I turned it off. But I want to trace the lines of certain actors and see why they spirit or whatever it is wanted to play these roles in these movies. Why they wanted to do this? Because there's always some hidden stuff. It's always some hidden stuff that's not even so hidden. I would say it's always some esoteric stuff to movies. Like the exoteric information is what makes the movies big. But now with these eyes that we have, I want us to really get the esoteric information out of these movies, because they still around for a reason, or else we would have forgot about them already. But the Predator dealing with the aliens and technology and hunting and things like that. I'm gonna watch that movie. I'm definitely gonna watch that. And there's some other movies that I'm gonna put a link to the description to this movie that I want to talk about later today or tomorrow. I watched it yesterday, called Time Trap. Time Trap. It's actually on YouTube. Somebody got the whole video on YouTube in 720p. I'm gonna put the link in the description so y'all can be ready. But that time trap was about a guy that was going into they discovered a cave, that when you go into the cave, time slows down. But outside the cave, time flashes, like history, like all this time flashes and things like that. And they go out and eventually in the future and things like that. It's a lot of stuff. It deals with the fountain of youth and the big story of these hippies was tripping on mushrooms and they wanted to find the fountain of youth and things. That's what that movie's called, Time Trap. But I think I saw UL said Keanu Reeves and Johnny Depp. Yeah, Keanu Reeves, Johnny Depp. I'm gonna follow them people too. Johnny Depp got all them Pirates of the Caribbean. He got Edward Scissorhand, and the Alex in Wonderland. Both of them. Through the Looking Glass, he played he played the Mad Hatter. He played the Mad Hatter and put a whole new twist on it. That was the Johnny twist. It is something about him. And Johnny Depp don't even watch his own movies after he finishes them. I don't know how it is now, but I know I watched an interview about 2 years ago where he said, I don't watch the movies once I finish it. I was part of the experience, and now that's it. Secret Window. Oh, sound like a secret movie, because I never heard of it. It's this other movie. It's that deal Johnny Depp and him going to hell or dealing with hell spirits. I forgot that title. Predator, Alien, Prometheus are connected. I think are good movies. Oh yeah, Prometheus. I saw Prometheus in the movies. That movie was epic. Epic. Even though when the thing was falling, they could have just ran to the side and avoided all of that. They could avoid all that, just run to the side like a smooth. Oh man, the seven chakras. It's been a while. Hey, man, thanks for coming back. Ninth Gate in Hell is the one. Yeah, Ninth Gate. The Ninth Gate. That is the movie. I saw that a lot of times growing up. And things we saw a lot of these movies. Or I watched a lot of movies growing up. I was like a whole movie kid. So it's a lot of movies I seen that I think shaped my life so-called subconsciously. And now it's like it's all just coming out. Like we told you, we told you, we told you, we told you. That's just how it feels in my room. Like we told you. I remember saying that I watched Independence Day when I was like 4 or 5, like 3 times in a row. I was like, yo, rewind it. Like play it back. And I was up to like 2 in the morning. My grandma just loved telling me this story. I really loved Independence Day with Will Smith. There are hidden stories in many movies. Yeah, many movies. Good movies. Good movies. That's not just trying to just make you learn something about, oh yeah, I should tell my spouse I love her. I shouldn't try to murder her. That's what most movies is about. Just trying to get you to know drama and things like that. But we know those things, man. I think it's a point in life where you come to where you just recognize those things, where you gotta be told of those things over and over and over again. Scarface, say hello to my little friend. They said that it was while Wesley Snipes said that line in Demolition Man. I was like, yo, is Scarface gonna sue him or something? But yeah, Scarface is has many lessons. That's one of my mom's favorite movies, and I was describing something to her about how I feel as though people. What was Scarface? No, I was, yeah, how, oh, that's why Wesley Snipes said it in Demolition Man. Say hello to my little friend, because that's what I was talking to my mom about how the asshole, so to speak, pops up. The gangster, the rap, like the person that's hurt but still has a attitude and a about him. About him. So society builds up all of these norms to say, oh, you can't do that, or oh, you can't say things like that. But yet, so because this whole game of life is a play, certain characters are going to arise, and the earth is going to keep spinning. Nothing is ever going to be perfectly like, oh yeah, good triumphs over evil. But that asshole character that say hello to my little friend Scarface personality pops up because this is what's needed in the conscious field, like on the biggest scale, in order to keep balance, in order to keep a balance. You watch it and don't do what he did. LOL, most people didn't understand that. Point your fucking fingers. Best scene in Scarface. Yeah, that's the big trick. Is that most people like, yo, I want to be Scarface. Got the Scarface posters on their wall and everything. And this is why I don't give into conspiracy that much, to say people being tricked. I just think people just don't get it. People just don't get it. And it's okay. And that's what I have to learn. It's okay for their moment, that moment of time. But that's why channels like this is going to exist. That's going to really go in depth. So if they run across this video at some point in their life, they like, oh yeah, I was really thinking about this. And you know how things go. You know how it went for you, and I know how it is for me. Looking at other people's videos and like, yo, I really was trying to act out this character when really they were just trying to get me to wake up to not become this character. And I think that's one of the big tricks of this world. Everything that is cool, and like when they say, oh man, you don't want to be that guy in high school, like, oh, you know, the cool guy in high school that smoked cigarettes and the rebel and all of that stuff. Like the ultimate the bad guy. And you say, oh, chicks love the bad guys. And we go and say, oh man, why do chicks like bad guys? Like, I'm this good guy. I'll treat you right. I'll do all this. It's wild. It's wild how human behavior is. How human behavior seeks balance. That's what it is. Human behavior is this game, and I see this game just not seeking balance, but just having balance. The balance is already there. And it's just that we go either to one side, as us humans, and we either go to one side of the extreme or the other. We either like blow everything up or pat everybody on the back. I mean, not pat or I don't know. Say it's okay, man. Be okay with using, giving a lot of participation trophies away. Like, oh, you played in the game. Here go participation trophy. No, you didn't win. You didn't win. You lost. Get comfortable with losing so you don't lose again. It's like we covering up a lot of our feelings because we see all this aggressiveness out there and we try to run away from it. That's what Demolition Man was cool about. It said you learn from the character's experience, not become them. That's and Real Spirits Dynamic said that's the ego stage that we naturally evolve out of. Yeah, naturally evolve out of. Because believe it or not, it's who we all are at one state of our life. And when we're not so upset about it in ourselves, and when you really come out of it, then you see how other people was exactly where you was. And that lessens a whole lot of anger and it opens up room for compassion. Now you can be compassion. Now I can have more empathy instead of just looking at you like you fucked up. You messed up a lot, guys. You messed up. It's a real twist that happens and I really enjoying this plane. Easier than living life from experience. Man the Seven Chakras said, yeah, you can learn a lot from these music and from the rappers and rock and roll, metal music, and all of that. The thing is just not to get so wrapped up and evolved into it. And that's the artist trap. That's why I didn't want to become a rapper anymore because I didn't want to be trapped into this is what I talk about or this is the way I am. I felt as though my ego was being on the forefront because I was feeling pain on the inside that I just wanted to be heard. And this is the way this is. And don't nobody fuck with me because I made it to this point in life. And then, like, don't mess up what I got because that's what I was told. That's what I was told from the music. And all that really did reveal to me was more of my shadow side because I became my shadow. I became all of that. So now that I see what it is to be that. Now I probably didn't go as far as Snoop Dogg and all of them, but I was in it. I was in that feeling. I was in that realm of reality. Now I know how all those feelings are. Now I have that courage built up toward. Now I can leave it alone or take the pieces from it and just warp it into what I want it to be instead of being like all these other musical artists that then eventually start getting depressed and sad and things like that. That's because they singing the same music over on stage, and in my view they just singing the same things over and over, keeping themselves in that loop. Even as when they already moved past all of that, they moved past that ego, that stage of ego, that personality. At least many different personalities that exist in us. It's a movie I wanted to watch with Morgan Freeman, and this guy escapes that has 21. I don't know what it's called. We'll tie on that another time. But that's how I come to my conclusions when it comes to music. Now, if I do music in the future, it's going to be in a whole nother realm, probably based off some things I'm not totally aware of now. Then I look back on later and say, oh, well, that's what I was caught up in. That's what I was caught up in. Like everybody growing up and Philly in the projects want to be Lil Wayne. Now everybody want to be like Meek Mill and all this other thing. That's why I'm glad he's talking about social reform and the justice system when it comes to cops and things. But he talk about rapping on the corner and all these other things. And when you talk to the rappers, they be like, I'm just talking about a life that I lived. I'm just telling a story. But to the people listening to it, they get so caught up in it that they'll shoot somebody to and say a rap lyric at the same time. And it's like this is my motivating factor. Because that's what's in their brain. It transformed them. And that's why it really is a warrior's a war I'm really am becoming a warrior, and we are really warriors because we're not retracting ourselves back to the comforts of religion, and we're not caught up it's all levels. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. We're not all caught up in the things that are in the streets. What I mean by that is getting caught up by like Lil Wayne has evolved more than most rappers. Her lyrics are genuine. He understands love. And Man of Seven Chakras said, never thought about violent rap lyrics like that. People should learn from them. Yeah, and I listen to a lot of Styles P and Lil Wayne, Lil Wayne too, Lil Wayne. And like I loved little, I loved Lil Wayne growing up, and I always saw something more about him, like how he was his mind attached and things like that. But I know he dealt with, I know he had to have a lot of experience. That's why he just likes to skate now. Like he said, man, I wish I would have been skating a long time ago. He just likes to skateboard nowadays. And he's real cool. And Styles P, he's a gangster and a gentleman. I still live. He's a gentleman as well, and he's real awake. And he talks about the number seven. And you really gotta look at Styles P because it's really spirits and Little B the bass guy. People be like, yo, he's trash. Like he just talks to say B B B B, and he just cursing and all that. But it's something more behind it. It's something so much that they're really trying to get out, but it's only going to get out there if they do this certain way, if they act this certain way. I talk about that in terms of comedians. That's why I love comedy, because like they'll give you a pain situation. It's like, dang, like if you wasn't laughing about it, you would be depressed about it. But since they laughing about it and switched it around, um you able to see it. You was like, oh, this is true. Once you laugh at it, once they get you to laugh at it, they know that you now recognize that it's true, but it's funny because there's more to the situation. It's just a situation. Yeah, the wise learn even from the foolish. Yeah. Yes, the full card. You know, the full card in the tarot, I still gotta do this serious when I go down the tarot, but the tarot cards, the full card was originally known as the soul card. It was known as the card of the soul. And then it was changed to the full card. That's why you see him just, the full card, he just like, yeah, just on the edge of a cliff, I believe. And he's just free spirited and things like that. That's the soul. Few rappers do have real words hidden in the hype. Yeah, there are few. There are few and far between. Man, the Seven Chakra said it is their disgusting truth from the elites Hollywood rather than straight speaking out. Yeah, it's manipulated by advertisements and money, and knowing that if I say it this way, then I'm gonna be able to make a couple more bucks than if I say it this way. Like Lil Wayne probably could have wrote a book, right? Since he was wrapped up and had this rap life, that's how it came out. And he probably still can write a book or just talk or whatever it is he do. But yeah, that's how it is when it comes to rap and embodying my shadowness and things like that, and learning from myself, from my own experiences, and from the experiences of these um, how do I say profiles? What is that? I don't know what it's called when you know the future. Prophets. These artists, these prophets and things are running amok. They got their own lives to deal with. So you gotta, knowing that they had their own lives to deal with, knowing that shows that they have their own pain to deal with. Like in this movie, um, Total Recall, it was a lot of shooting, there was a lot of blood and violence and things going on. It was like ultra violent. So what that shows is just the violence of man, how far man is willing to go with the guns and what they actually are doing to people, how they kill people and all these other things. And it's not supposed to be like, oh, cool, cool, that's what I want to do, or this just the way. It's like, no, no, this is what we have to move away from. We know, we recognize it so much that we're able to put it in a movie. So now recognize it and change up. Do you think Recall was a dream, Man of Chakras? It gets complicated, but overall, because in the end he actually got with the girl that he programmed in the computer simulation before he actually got the first shot in his neck. It was the exact woman he saw in his dreams. That was something that was sticking to me because that it was true. So was it all a dream in the end? Because also in the beginning, it confused me how it was him with that same lady that he created before he went in simulation. That was them two running around in the beginning of the movie, and then he woke up, and that was a dream. So it's wild. Was it overall a dream? Basically, I think so. Basically, I think it is all overall a dream, but only to the sense of when you're watching a movie and you see that the whole movie is a dream of the writer and director. Like really incepted. It's really just all a dream of the writer and the director. Life is but a dream. Yeah, I see a lot of movies like that. A lot of things like that. All right, see if I have any more pictures. But please, guys, in your future of here, drop a like on the video. I don't know if I'm gonna go check out that new Total Recall. They remade it, but I think I got the gist. I think we all got the gist now with all this conversation going on. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna sign out pretty soon unless y'all want to bring up something else. New one isn't as good. I didn't think it was. I didn't think it would be. Probably just updated the advertisements in it. And the special effects and all of that. But we have a lot of time. The time is just take advantage of your time, guys. That's my last one. Just take advantage of your time and make sure you're being creative in your time and not letting somebody else be creative for you. Or if they all being creative for you, just get what you can get out of it and shape it to your own way of understanding. Don't settle on somebody else's way of understanding. That's what I just want to leave this off with. Anything about Vishnu? Hold on 1 second, guys. Gosh, guys. Family. Raising a daughter is fun. All right, guys. Yeah, I don't know that much. Like I heard about Vishnu millions of times on like documentaries and things, but knowing it, I won't know exactly unless I like see a paragraph or something like that, and then it bring a lot of stuff. I like Vishnu. He is the maintainer. So Vishnu is the maintainer of reality. I know about the Brahman and stuff like that. And Krishna, the destroyer, which is really not a bad thing. It's really a good thing to bring her chaos and things like that. But Vishnu, the maintainer, I'm not too up to speed on that. But with maintaining reality and maintaining the gears and stuff like that, that's what comes to my mind. But hold on. Oh, they won't let me turn my brightness up on this screen. I wanted to show y'all something. Battery dying. But yeah, that's what. Hold on. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna tap out right now. I'm gonna sign back in a little later. I'm gonna go take care of the family, get some things done. But I'm gonna put the link in the description to that new movie that I'm gonna be tying on next, probably for a little bit. Well, I mean, I'm definitely going to. I'm put the link in the description. It's called Time Trap. Time Trap. It's on YouTube for free if y'all want to watch it and join the conversation. But I'm gonna look up some things on Vishnu and some Hindu philosophy so we can talk about it. Learning from children, raising his lessons. You don't miss any if you can. Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. So I'm gonna brush up on my Hindu philosophy and things like that, and I'm gonna tie with y'all. Thanks for coming through, Astro Way. Thanks for coming through. You well. We had true life stories popping. We had real spirits dynamic. Man of seven chakras came back through from the dead. Sahi and the Astro Way. There we go. All the fam, we all here. Shouts to y'all. If y'all here in the future, drop a like, comment, subscribe for more. And remember, guys, we all tie. But do we really tie? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know. Till next time, this is Ty saying tie always. And don't be afraid to talk that tie. Talk that tie.